Good morning, guy. Come on in. Happy Tuesday.
Good morning.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. How's Houston, Sydney?
It's good. This weather keeps going back and forth, though.
Man, I can't believe last week I was in Vietnam and then a couple of days ago I was in Cabo and then now I'm here back in my own room, with everything, microphone, big desktop, good to be back home.
Feels good. We
So,
miss you over here in Texas, so.
thank you, thank you. Yeah. I think the best part about traveling Sydney is not about going places, but the best part about traveling for me personally is going back home, right? You really learn to appreciate your home, appreciate Houston, appreciate Texas, and especially all the people around you.
Oh yeah, appreciate your routine too.
Yep, yep. And especially today, right? I missed my Tuesday training. So super excited to get back to the routine and can't wait to share with you some of the cool stuff that I learned, along my real estate journey, as long as something I just learned, during the Cabo Mastermind trip yesterday. Not yesterday, last week.
Oh, well, I'm excited. And your KVCore website looks really good,
Thank
so
you, thank you.
good
Yeah, yeah.
training.
Yeah, you're not the first one who comment that, so I thought I would, just make a really short training today to kind of show people, especially for us who are with EXP Realty, we already have the KV Code site for free, right? And this is the 400 a month. If you buy it by yourself, this is a 400 a month software, right? But if you don't know how to use it or you use it incorrectly, and then it kind of put it in a waste, right? We all pay EXP $85 bucks a month. You might as well use it because it's free.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So with all further ado, thank you, Sophia. I see you're joining. Ethan, Jeff, hi, Lauren, Lavi, Will. Well, thank you guys for joining. We also live stream this on the Team Legacy Workplace Facebook. So that way, if you're unable to join the Zoom, you can go ahead and watch the live stream as well. So hopefully it's going to be a good recording. We can go ahead and save it and use it for our next training, right? So that way I don't have to repeat myself. Joey, good morning. Miley, welcome to the big family. Excited for to see you here. And then Michael John, I love seeing it. You are everywhere. And and that's lesson number one. Part of success is just about showing up, right? The more you show up, the more you're gonna get noticed, and the more deal, the more training, the more personalized relationship you're gonna get. So anyway, uh, Sydney, am I good to go?
Yeah, I think you're all set. I'll let people in whenever more
Okay.
come in.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. So let me minimize everything here. I'm not gonna do the full present here because I'm gonna do a lot of demo. So I'm gonna be jumping back and forth between a lot of tab. And that way I really want to show you not, just on a presentation, but how you actually do it, right? So welcome everybody. Today training is gonna be about customize your KV core site, by me. We are the cash flow shop broker by EXP Realty. Oh, I need to change my email over here since we're gonna talk about branding. Yeah. But a little bit about me, I've been, investing in real estate since 2010. My specialty is long-term rental. That is where most of us started with. And then later on, short-term rental, mid-term rental, we are very heavy on flip. We are, we are 90 flip and counting. Let me update my presentation really quick. Icon agent since 2019 all the way into 2023 with EXP Realty. Love every minute of this brokerage. If you haven't find out what is EXP Realty and what it can provide, this is not a presentation about EXP, but I would strongly suggest you to look into it, right? Just like KVCore, you can buy it, or with EXP, you can have the software for free of charge. The objective, the objective today is to learn how to customize your KVCore site. Number one, after today's presentation, I will make sure that your KVCore site will look less boring by personalize it, put in, your personality into your website. And then, of course, the main objective is you're gonna use the site to capture the cold lead, right? So here we are. Yep, here we are. Yep. So our lab today topic, we're gonna talk about the branding, the domain, which is a feature of KVCore. There's gonna be a lot of demo. relate to KVCore, and then I'm gonna throw some AI stuff in, right? Somebody said to me last week, and I think it's so true. AI is gonna be the new email, right? If you don't learn how to use AI, it's gonna be like us right now doing business without email. It's totally doable. You can do it, but it's gonna be super difficult, right? So AI is the new email. Learn how to use it, incorporate it, embrace it, and use it to leverage on your business. Yeah. And so the question, feel free to put it in the chat box, or you feel free to unmute your mic and shout it out loud. I want to prop this question for everybody in the training. What is all of these brands have in common, right? There's a CGP Realty Group, there's a Win-Win Real Estate Group, there's J Signature Group, there's my company, the Cash Flow Shop, your investment home experts. There's Real Town by Mayfam, and there's City Side Property Group by EXP Realty. What is all of these brands have in common? Oh man, I give out the answer. My bad. I want to hear some answer. What's the chat box? Let me see. Oh, nobody's chatting. Okay. Well, since I give out the answer, I can just tell you tell you that, like, number one, all this amazing high producing team is number one, broker by EXP, and number two, uh let me put this back on, right? If you notice, none of this team, they use Gmail, they use the tail at gmail.com for the tail, right? Remember, you are your own brand, right? And it's really hurt me to see a lot of Asian, they market themselves, they have a brand, and then at the end of the email, or at the end of the print, or at the end of the flyer, they say like, hey, please email me at hui@gmail.com, or maybe joesmith@gmail.com, right? It's kind of defeat the purpose of branding, right? Because in order for your brand to be legit, me coming from an IT perspective, IT background, you become legit when you have your domain, right? So, and domain is not that expensive to set up. And today I really gonna show you how to set up your domain, so that way, you look super legit and look super professional on your on your presentation online. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Miley, for answering. There's different way to do it. So how are you gonna lose your more non-branded tail, right? So number one, you're gonna set up your domain, which we're gonna do right now. You are your brand, right? So think about using your name, just like we have Brand Golf is the biggest real estate brand, micro brand within EXP. His email is brand@brandgolf.com, right? So you can totally use your name for the brand. It has to be something easy to use, something easy to say. If you have a domain that is too long or too complicated, number one, it's going to take you 20 minutes to spell it out whenever you want to give somebody your email. And number two, people is going to misspell it, and then you're going to never receive your email, right? So think about your domain. It needs to be something short. The shorter, the better. It needs to be something easy to spell, right? It can be just, for example, may at May at realtowngroup.com. It's going to be Hui at the cashflowshop.com. It's going to be Joanna at jsignaturegroup.com, right? Something very easy to spell and to remember. So that way you don't waste your time on the phone telling people what is your email is. I just happen to use SiteGround, but there is like a gazillion of other domain service over there for you to use. For today's presentation, we're going to use SiteGround to show you how easy it is, right? So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to go to SiteGround. All right, and then you're going to log in. If you don't have an account, go ahead and create an account and get a password. And then once you get into the SiteGround account, you can go directly to website. I already have some website here we can play with, but for you, you can just click on new website, right? Oops. So I'm gonna click on new website, and then I'm gonna click on new domain, right? If you already have an existing domain, you can transfer it. So let's click on new domain, and then you're gonna find your new domain, right? So let me get some example right here. Who already have a domain name that they want to do? Let me see. I'm gonna pick somebody. Let's see, Kevin Louis, right? I think this is a very unique. Oh, there you go, right? Do you already have this domain? Let me just check, right? Oh, you already have it. Okay. Oh, there you go. I like it. White Coat Realtor. So let me see. White Coat Realtor is available. Doop, 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 doop. Oh, it's not available, right? So let me see. White Coat Real Estate. How about that? That looks pretty cool. Yeah, so play around with it. If the domain is not available, it would mean that somebody already bought it. So you can either contact the domain owner and try to buy it from them, or you just have to select a different domain. Oh, this one is not available either, right? So let's pick something more unique. Let's see. I'm just gonna pick your name, Kevin. So Kevin Louis. I think this is very unique, right? So your domain could be Kevin at kevinlouis.com. Super simple. It's not available. Oh my God, nothing is available, man. Okay, I'm just gonna put the word TX here, just for the sake of example. But yeah, if you have a cool domain name, make sure you grab it, because if you don't, if some other people grab it, and then too bad, it's gone, right? And then they can charge you $1,000 or $100 to buy it off, depend on your negotiation with the domain owner. For example, Kevin Louis Texas is available, right? So you're gonna go ahead and buy it. Go to order prompt. It's super simple to buy a domain, and after you buy your domain, it's gonna be here, right? Yeah, it's gonna show up here. And then the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna click on site tool. Now you have your domain, right? This is just a domain. You can either create a website, or in this case, we already have our website, which is KVCore, and we're just gonna redirect our domain into our KVCore website, right? So for example, for my example, I go to domain, I go to redirect, and all you need to do is you're gonna have your domain right here, and then you're gonna do permanent redirect, and then you're gonna do a redirect to, and then you're gonna type in your EXP Realty KV code site, right? Which is your first name and your last name all together .exprealty.com, and then you hit create. The moment you do that, when people go to your domain, it automatically redirect to your KV core. Boom, you have a professional website now, right? Instead of a very long first name, last name .exprealty.com. Now you're gonna have the cashflowshop.com, right? So when I go here, everybody can go to their computer, they type in the cashflowshop.com, right? It will get redirected, to my KVCore website, and this is for you to capture and generate the lead. So boom, that's it. Domain is done. What about the email, right? So SiteGround is super easy to use. This is one of the reasons why I use SiteGround. You can just go to email, you go to account, and then you're gonna create a mailbox, right? You can just say and then the tail is already here at the cashflowshop.com. You generate your password, and then boom, right? You will have an email, right? So I create email for me, my team, my assistant, so everybody here can have a mailbox. And then the cool thing is that you can use this alias, and you can sync it up with your Gmail. So let me come back to my presentation real quick, make sure I don't lose you guys. Yeah, so we learn how to set up your domain. You are your brand, use your domain name, use SiteGround or similar item, to set up your domain name. And then we learn how to redirect the domain to your KVCore site. And then the last thing, last but not least, we're gonna customize your tail to you with Gmail, right? You can customize to use with Yahoo Mail, any mail provider that you think, but I think Gmail is the most popular use here. So I'm gonna use Gmail as your as the example. And by the way, right, if I have been using the brand EXP Realty for a long time before I start my micro brand, the Cashflow Shop. So if you are with EXP Realty, please click on the link here. It literally tell you how to configure your Gmail to send as your EXP Realty email, right? If you don't want to spend the $20 to have your domain name, you can send your email as your first name your last name at exprealty.com, right? Trust me, y'all, it look a lot more professional than like, hey, please use me as your real estate agent, and here's my name at gmail.com, right? All cute, cutecat@gmail.com or something like that. Sometime I saw something like that. It just, it's just I just lose my mind. I mean, like, come on, right? These are your domain name. You gotta brand yourself, with that. So anyway, yeah. So I won't go into the detail here, but his instruction on how to set up your Gmail to send at your eXp Realty email. And then on SiteGround, there's an article to set up your Gmail to use as your tail, right? Or in fact, let's just go over it right now. You're gonna go to your Gmail and then you're gonna go to setting right here. And by the way, these are recording, right? So if you need to come back and reference, you can totally do so. You're gonna go to your Gmail, you're gonna go to setting, you're gonna go to CO setting. And then over here, there's the button that say account. And then there's a label here that says send mail as. And then all you need to do is add another email address. Go to the instruction in my presentation, and then boom, right? You're gonna have first of all, you're gonna have still gonna have your original Gmail box. I am one of the OG in EXP. That's why I get the exprealty.com mailbox. I think most of you guys joined later, so you don't have this. You don't have the original OG email. You have to set them up as the alias, but the instruction is similar. So it's going to be hui@thecashflowshop.com. There's a ton of customization that you can do here. You can reply from the same email address the message was sent to. Or, for me, I like to keep my email consistent. I check on the box that say always reply from default address. Currently, this is hui@thecashflowshop, right? So when I click on compose email, it's always going to be hui@thecashflowshop, right? So people, they don't know what kind of mail server I use. But it's really just Gmail, right? So I have two signature here. For agent attraction, I still use hui.win@exprealty.com. For my production business, for buy and sell with investor, I use Hui as a cash flow shop, right? Super, super easy to set up. And trust me, if you don't get anything out of this presentation today, just this alone, it will elevate your business to the next level already, right? By just appearing with a domain name, tailored to your domain, you're gonna look super professional, and you already set yourself apart from any other agent that's use Gmail or Yahoo.com. So anyway, right? And speaking of brand growth, right? This is come directly from brand growth, right? You are your brand, right? It doesn't matter if you are with KW, Remax, EXP. I believe that you are your own brand, and you need to, if you have a unique name like brand growth, you should buy your name as the domain like right now before somebody get it, right? So if you go to brandgrowth.com, let me see right here. If you go to brandgrowth. So Brent Gove, if you don't know him, he has the biggest organization within EXP, and he domain trade. He brand everything as Brent Gove, right? So you go to brandgove.com. By the way, this is a great website. If you want to learn about agent attraction, if you want to learn about real estate training, I love the collaboration in our company, right? Brent Gove, he just opened up his book. He give you the resource for buyer, for seller, for team building. You can just click here and access his resource, for agent attraction. I learned a ton of stuff here from Brand Gove when it comes to agent attraction, right? So please don't tell me we don't have enough training at EXP, right? There's just too much training at EXP, and I'm telling you guys, where up the best source for you guys to get the training. Yep, but if you notice, Brand Gove, he didn't say, brand.gove@exprealty.com. It's brand@brandgove.com, right? So if he's making a gazillion of money in real estate, maybe we should follow what he's doing, right? By having your own brand as the domain, thecashflowshop.com, brand@brandgove.com. Yeah. So this is a very, very clean statement that I want to make. So moving on. Right? So let's go to your KVCore site, right? So your KVCore site, if you just join EXP, welcome. You're going to go to EXP Enterprise. You're going to go to optional service, and you're going to activate that KVCore site. And it's going to look like a default site. So you're going to need to do customization to make it sure it look like this, right? Make sure Grant Cardone picture show up, in the video. Make sure you set up your domain here. Again, really important. KVCore allow you to brand yourself as your own domain. So make sure you leverage this. And all you need to do is log into your KVCore and click on my profile. My profile. What site do I am? Yep. Yep. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Go to kvcore.com. That's where you log in. Right. And then you're gonna go to your name. You're gonna click on my profile. And you're gonna click on edit profile, right? And this is where you're gonna get most of your branding stuff, right? So you're gonna be your name, your first name, your last name, your title if you choose to put your title in, and then your email, really important, right? You want your form email. It's gonna be from Hui@thecashflowshop.com, from brand@brandgo.com, from Miley, from MileySmith.com. Right? So you make sure that, your form email is going to be from the domain you choose. Otherwise, it's going to defeat the purpose. Right. And then the form name is really important too. This is your brand, right? I want to keep it simple. So I'm just going to name it, formthecashflowshop.com, right? You can put your name or your company name. This is totally up to you, totally customizable. Did I cover everything? Yep. Yeah, so if you notice, after you set it up, the email that you're gonna send out is gonna be, from the cashflowshop.com, right? It looks super professional. And by the way, if you haven't noticed, the number one team in EXP right now when it comes to transaction and production is a short-term-shop.com, and their setup is exactly the same as us, right? So if they are able to leverage KVCore to sell, hundred and thousand of houses using KVCore just by the same setup that we have, maybe you should set up your KVCore site to be just exactly the number one team at EXP too, right? So I look at the short-term shop and I customize mine to look just exactly like the short-term shop. So now we have a cash flow shop, right? So the next is going to be website content. We're going to go to some website content. Where's website content? There you go. I even forgot. Yeah, so the thing about, KVCore, all these icon, when it's so hidden, but when you click on it, there's so many like sub menus, so you have to go around and play with them. So just remember, this icon right here is where you're going to go to the website manager, right? So you're going to go to the website manager, and the first thing I would do here is go to site content. That's this thing right here that say add testimonial. Go ahead and click on it. I'm not going to tell you to fake it or to make it up, but if you have anything from Google, from Zillow, and it doesn't sync, go ahead and, spend a couple minutes to add in your own testimonial, or, have your assistant help you with it. Because when you do that, when people scroll to your website, there's going to be a section that show up that say testimonial, right? So they can just go over and, look after testimonial after testimonial. So this is something really, really good to have on your website. I strongly recommend you, when you set up your KVCore site, go ahead and spend some time, go to site tool, click on add testimonial, and go ahead and work on all of this, right? I'm not going to tell you to fake it, please don't, please be authentic, but this is where you can, play around with it, if you will. So with that say, we're going to go to the next testimonial. And then we're going to go to the website edit, right? Perfect. Yeah, so this is, I'm going to go to all this, right? But this is where you're going to put your logo in, website title, the lead registration. I normally tell people after you view one of my KVCore property, you have to put in your name and number. So I leave it up to you. You need to have, I think it's super, super important, especially after Cabo. Every single one of us here who's sitting on the Zoom, you need to have a 5 to 20-minute video on YouTube explaining your unique value proposition, right? Either for buyer and seller for your production business, or for your attraction business. That's gonna be another email. It's gonna be another video, right? Have a really good, 5 to 20-minute video explain why people should work with you, why people should join you in EXP. This is gonna be your story that you later on you're gonna drive traffic to this video, so that way people that is relatable to you, they can they can see it, they have a connection with you. So that way your business is gonna be much, much easier, right? And after watching the video, they can schedule a phone call with you and stuff like that. Yeah. But have your video ready, because after you have video ready, you can do a lot of stuff with it, right? Like for example, for me, I just have that video, that play in the background with the picture of me with Robert Kiyosaki, with a video of me shaking Grant Cardone hand. I just have it, on the back of my uh, of my uh, of my site, right? So super, super cool. And all it is a video from YouTube, right? That you get the video YouTube ID, and then you put it into KVCore and boom, right? It looks just like this, super, super professional. They don't need to hear it, but they see you moving around talking. That's just enough. Yep. So without further ado, let's go to some of the setting, right? There's a ton here, but in my presentation and later on, you can request a copy of it. These are the certain thing that I think that's going to be the most important for you to, to set it up. So KVCore, I have 20 more minutes. So I'm going to go back to website manager, and then I'm going to click on edit setting. Right? So over here, you see there's a ton of stuff, right? First of all, you can select on how does it look. There's a hero view, there's a champion view, warrior view, victor view, right? So just pick one to your liking. Template color, there's a bunch of color here that you can pick. I just happen to like blue. I would strongly suggest you to like your background image. I'm a little lazy, so I still use some of the default background. But if you learn how to, like later on, Lavi, if you're taking note, we need to come back, and then we need to pick some picture that is relatable to you. Maybe some of the house you close, some of the picture that is meaningful to you, and you can go ahead and upload it into the background image, right? So that way not this video, but maybe if you don't have the video yet, this background image, they're gonna show up. So it just make your site look more relatable and more authentic, right? It's look more to you instead of look the same as everybody else. Yeah, so make sure you play around with the background image, spend some time to uploading it, right? You can upload your own background image here. The secondary logo, right? I still need to work on my logo. By the way, if anybody here good with graphic design, I can use your help. But you can upload your secondary logo here, and then when you go to your site, it's gonna be next to the eXp Realty site, right? So make sure they kind of align with your eXp Realty logo. That way your site look professional with your own micro branding. So there's a ton of setting here that you can go ahead and play with it later. I think this is important. So think about, how you want to capture your lead. They have different options here. The normal one, the prompt requires. So after you view one property on KVCore, they're gonna force you to enter your name and your number already, right? Or maybe you can, do 3 view, 4 view, 5 view, 10 view would be too much, right? So kind of play around with this. You can be nice and don't ask anybody to register, but if you do this, you don't get any lead, right? Yeah. But or you can prompt registration, but don't require visitor to, don't require people to register. So for me, I just leave it normal for now, or you can just do this. I'm still debating. Totally up to you, right? So that's this forced lead registration. Website title, right? Really important. Make sure it's you type your brand, the cash flow shop, and then you scroll down. There's a bunch of stuff you can play around with. The Facebook username for chat. So if people chat with you, it go directly to your Facebook ID. Your office address if you have it, contact phone, contact email. Yeah, this is the background video for YouTube ID, right? So if you have a really cool YouTube ID that you want to play in the background, you can just plug it in here, hit save, and then boom, right? It's just gonna play in your background. Super, super cool. Oops, so many settings, a bunch of settings here that you can play around with. We're hiring. Let me see which one is more important. Oh, this one, the listing carousel. Yeah, so for me, I work quite a lot with seller and investor. So I always have my listing up. So when you have this listing carousel up and you save it on your front page, when you scroll all the way down, right, you're gonna see my listing first, right? So these are all the listing that I want to feature. These are my personal listing. And then, later on, you can have up to 3. And this is where you're gonna customize it, right? So you're gonna pick like a particular area, right? And so you can click here. I'm gonna show you where to set up this area, but you can set up a bunch of the area that you are like familiar with, and then you can just set it up in here in the area, or you can just do just listed. For me, I love just reduce, right? For example, right? So I can click on just reduce, hit save, and then maybe my website is too long. I don't want to have, number 3, so I just turn it off, right? So I hit save. And the way you test it is that you have to go to here and then you have to incognito. So that way, you don't have any, the website can refresh itself. And then you go all the way down and then you're going to see if it's work, right? It haven't refreshed yet. So, yep. I opened too much tab. So let me see. Maybe I go to Safari. Yeah. So if that doesn't work, maybe just go to another browser. Scroll down. It still haven't refreshed yet. I don't know why. Did I hit save? Save. Okay. Yeah, sometimes it just take a while. So the cashflowshop.com. Come on, refresh. There you go. Oh, never mind. Yeah, it could take a while, but after you save it, it should go ahead and refresh within 5-10 minutes. Google Analytic ID. I have an instruction here. Let me see. Yeah, how to set up your Google Analytic. But basically, this is a free service provided by Google. It's going to provide you analytic like, hey, how many people visit my website? How many people click on it? How's the traffic? Yada, yada, yada. That's the instruction. But after you set it up on Google, no, Google's gonna give you the analytic ID. You can go ahead and plug it in here and save it. And now you can watch all the traffic and what exactly people's doing on your website, right? So really, really cool. Super, super easy to set up. Usually, it's actually take a lot of work to set this one up correctly. But on KVCore, they just have like a field here for you to input your analytic ID in, and then you click save, and then boom, right? You're gonna have your website analytic in like less than 5 minutes. So super, super useful. Listing, I usually make a mistake on this, so I want to point it out, right? I think the default, they don't have, they don't have all these things. So when my client come to search for a rental, or none of the rental show up, right? So if you want to sync all of your listing from HAR, which is our central MLS here in Houston, you're gonna click on land, high rise, basically everything, right? Because if you uncheck a box, it's not gonna sync. So click on save, make sure it's saved. Default short listing display. And this is important as well, right? I actually struggle with this, between using this and HAR, because, in HAR, our central MLS system, we have so many filters, right? I can look for the day on market. I can look for tax rate. I can look by the school. There's so many criteria for me to look for, but the KVCore default, it doesn't have anything, right? It have number of bedroom and bathroom, and that's it. So I have to dig around. This is where you're gonna put on all these extra search filter, right? So that way, when you go or your client go and search for houses, all these things are gonna show up, right? The appliance fee, bedroom description, CD. There's quite a lot of selection here for you to make it look similar to HAR for your MLS, right? So for me, the day on market is really important. The type of foundation is important for me. The maintenance fee, which is the HOA, is important for me. The tax rate, the total bedroom. So I put them all in here. So that way, when I actually go and use my own KVCore site, I can actually, use a search filter to look for the house I want, right? I think that's it for the customized site. Yeah, I know this is a lot of information. That's why we have this recorded. So later on, when you start to customize your own KVCore, you can go back to this website, and if somebody asks me about the same thing, I can just send y'all this video. So that's why I'm taking time to do this, right? It's all about duplication. Yep, we talk about listing. We talk about the actual search filter. Let me monitor the chat room, right? There's no thing. Oops. Yeah. Okay. This is from Cabo. I just want to throw it in here, kind of reset the room a little bit. Please repeat after me. Small mind discuss order. Good mind discuss event. Great mind discuss idea. And a brilliant mind discuss the execution of idea, right? So please, especially if you're in my group, you need to stop talking about other, right? Whenever I see you talking about other people, I'm gonna point in your head and I'm gonna tell you have a small mind, right? Because small mind, we don't discuss other people. A good mind, we're gonna discuss event, which is good, right? But a great mind, we're gonna start discussing idea, and especially a brilliant mind, we're gonna discuss the execution of idea, right? So please, if you're in my team, if you're in my group, repeat after me. Small mind discuss order, good mind discuss event, great mind discuss idea, and a brilliant mind discuss execution of idea, right? Please reel it into your head, because I'm gonna, whenever I see you discuss other people, I'm gonna start pointing at your mind, right? So anyway, moving on. Um, Something cool about a blog. Oh, this is gonna blow your mind. Okay, so I somehow love blogging. It's just my way of writing to express it to the world. But sometimes it's just really overwhelming, right? You don't really have the time to write. Well, good thing, right? AI is here. You can totally leverage AI to improve your website. Increase the SEO, right, in order to drive more traffic to your website, right? So SEO using blog is one of the way for you to use it. So you're gonna go back to, let me see. Yep, you're gonna go back to, where do I go back to? Oops, go back to website manager, and you see the block here, right? So KVCore is really cool, right? You have the ability to close the block here, right? And then if you write a good blog with a correct SEO, for example, right here, if everybody just go to Google and you're gonna type EXP pyramid scheme, the first link on Google, I guarantee you, it doesn't matter where the world where are you at in the world. If you type in EXP pyramid scheme, the first article that you click on is gonna be my article, right? So SEO blog post is really important. And a good thing right now, you can totally leverage AI to use it, right? And the thing about AI, you have to let it learn, you have to let it learn about you, right? So I'm just giving you some prompt here. Hey, I'm a real estate agent with eXp Realty, and I need help crafting the perfect unique value proposition in order for me to sell more home and become number one in my brokerage. My goal is to sell as many property as I can using my UVP. I need my unique value proposition to be clear and compelling. It should quickly inform people why they should buy and sell a house with me. I want ChatGPT to focus on the unique benefit that I offer, and help me determine how I can set myself apart from other competition in the marketplace. I want you to have a deep understanding of my business, target audience, and what set me apart from the competitor. This unique value proposition should resonate with my target audience and highlight my unique strength and benefit. And to help craft this, please ask me 25 most important questions that you need to know in order to craft the perfect UVP to the best of your ability, right? Your detailed understanding is crucial for optimal result. Well, so let's give it, let's go to ChatGPT real quick. I think I have the prompt already, right? Yeah, there you go. So if you ask ChatGPT this, trust me, it's gonna blow your mind. It's gonna generate, 25 questions. And I'm not afraid of people copying this, right? Because your answer is gonna be different from my answer, right? So this is a really good prompt for everybody here to use. And then, take the time to answer this question. So that way, ChatGPT can learn more about you and your business. And then it's gonna craft you a perfect unique value proposition, right? And then after that, you feel free to customize it, right? And then after that, you can ask them for additional questions, right? For example, you can ask ChatGPT to, hey, now that you understand more about my business, please generate a list of 100 high value, super interesting, lesser known, and clickbait style content idea that tailor specifically for selling home. Let's say, for example, in Houston, Texas, right? This idea should be intriguing, offering valuable insight, and highlight my unique value proposition in real estate market. Each idea will accompany by a brief explanation that underscore yada, yada, yada. You guys get the idea, right? After ChatGPT understand you, it will do whatever you want it to do. So that's prompt number 2. Feel free to take a screenshot of it. And this is, where's my, yeah. Right. And then after that, it's gonna, you're gonna keep asking it to content for the blog, right? So you can read step number 3 for yourself, but step number 4 is my goal, right? It's one of the prime example. So using the in-depth understanding of my business and as an investment specialist, because I sell investment home, my specific unique home selling strategy and the UPPF offer, create a blog article that resonate deeply with my investor. The primary objective is to offer substantial value to my audience. The content should be informative and engaging, tailored to catch the attention of the investor, looking to create, multiply, I make a mistake here, and preserve wealth. The key point to include, right? You need to be very specific with AI. The target audience requirement, address the aspiration and challenge of investor. The content should speak directly to their desire for financial success. Number two, demonstrate the authority and expertise, share insight, success story, or data that will help this real estate investor grow their business, right? And then you address the tone, right? What tone it should be. And then you're gonna tell them how to write it, right? Write an outline of the article separately before writing it, at least heading and subheading. Then start writing based that outline the step-by-step, write a 2,000 word, 100% unique SEO optimized article with at least 10 heading and subheading that cover the topic provide for the prompt, right? Just give it super, super detailed, right? Let me see. Write it in a conversational style as written by a human, keep it simple, engage the reader, use the active voice, keep it brief, use question, and then end with a conclusion, with conclusion paragraph and 5 unique facts about your answer after the conclusion, right? Please cap the article about the following subject, right? And then you put the subject here, right? But you're going to use prompt 3 to generate the subject. So you get the idea, right? So after you do that, you're going to have 1 year worth of blog for you to post, and you can either post it yourself or you can even ask your assistant to help you with the posting, right? So AI is going to simplify your life, and it's just going to, help you expedite your business, a lot faster with a very minimum cost, right? ChatGPT 3.5 right now is free. So make sure you use it, before they start charging money. So anyway, I hope that helped. Moving on a little bit, the last part of the presentation here, and then we're gonna, I guess, end the presentation or open it up for question. You guys probably see the cashflowshop.com. This is one of my favorite thing about KVCore, right? You can have a lot of default search. I personally set up this thing for me to use, right? I like honestly, like every morning, because one of my favorite area right now is the short-term rental in Freeport. So when I click on, my shirt in short-term rental Freeport, the site will automatically compile, all of the listing, that is, let's say, under 300,000 in Freeport for me to look at, right? So with a click of your fingertip, right? Wow, this one looks pretty good, right? A beach house or near Freeport for 70,000, right? I think this is gonna be a deal if y'all want to jump on it, right? That's new construction, that's water view. What about this one, right? I know that we have to sell home in a high price to get higher commission, but from an investment point of view, when I see $100,000 house, what can go wrong with $100,000 house, right? So I immediately gonna click on it, see it, analyze it, and see if I can, all my investor can cash flow from it. Yeah. So and how to set all of this up? Pretty simple. You're gonna go to your KVCore site, go to where's the website? There you go, website manager. Right? So we cover the website manager, we cover the site content, we cover the blog. I'm gonna skip the embed for now because we don't really need it unless you want to, use your QR code for something else. And then the widget, right? There's a bunch of widgets here that you can add to your site, so feel free to play around with all the widget, but this is my favorite, right? It's called a feature area widget default. So you're gonna click on edit. And over here, you can just click on add, and then you can just keep adding on your search, right? Potential cash flow property near Houston, hackable home in Houston, short-term rental near Conroe, investment property in Independent Heights, new construction in Katy. I have an investor who really like to look for cash flow condo in Houston. So I set up a search for him so he can just come in and click on it and see, hey, what is the only condo that for sale in Houston that is, let's say under 200,000, right? You can just add the area, add the picture, select the listing type, select the location. You can even draw on the map if you don't know the zip code. and number of bed, the acreage, right? And then all the option, right? These are all the filter that we talk about, right? Fix the upper, water pool, water view. So this is pretty cool, right? It's not granular like HAR, but it's good enough for me to use, right? So let's say over here, I look at any houses under 450 in Freeport, right? Because they have a potential for short-term rental above 1,000 square feet, and I need it to be a 3 bedroom plus because a 2 bedroom house is going to be very hard to Airbnb. But yeah, after you set it up, put it in a nice picture. This is one of the picture from one of my closing, and then you save it, and you're gonna have all the features that you want here on your KVCore site. So after you finish and done everything that I say in this presentation, your site is gonna look just like me, right? The cashflowshop.com with your logo in here, with your picture in here, and then with your video running on the background, your logo, your slogan, the feature area, the testimonial, that people can scroll to, your listing. All now it's updated, right? The just reduce it one, I love looking at just reduce, right? Because it's an opportunity for me, for my investor to come in and make an aggressive offer. And then make sure you update your bio, and you learn how to leverage AI to create 100 blog posts that you can post on the site for 1 year, right? So that's the end of my presentation. I think there's nothing else. Let me see if there's nothing else. Yeah, except some quote, right? These are some quote I really like. That I just want people, again, especially in my team, my group, right? Should I talk to my sister, right? So sister, if you listen to this, I know you have beautiful home, but you need to look at a number at an investment property, right? When you don't know what to do the number, and then the number will tell you what to do, right? That's the first thing about real estate. It's just mathematics. Some people, they just build beautiful house without looking at a number. Anyway, this is my quote. Look for trouble. Well, when you see a condenser sitting on a patio, you know it's a deal, right? I just happened to run into this house and there's a condenser, sitting on a patio. I know that one is a deal immediately, right? So look for trouble and learn how to solve it. And this is never going to happen to me, right? So 2 years ago, not 2 years ago, 2 months ago, I was playing tennis and all of a sudden I was paralyzed. I don't know how to describe it to you, but I didn't hear any sound. I didn't hear anything. All of a sudden, I swing a racket, and then the next thing I noticed, I have difficulty walking, right? And then I was paralyzed for the next 2 days. It's only 2 days. I recover. It took me a month to recover, but I was able to recover fast. I'm 100% now. But during those 2 days that I couldn't even walk, right? And basically, all my human functioning get reduced to a minimum, right? I know everybody here experienced it, but when you couldn't walk for 2 days, all of a sudden, you don't think about how much money you're gonna make anymore, right? You think about some other thing. So my advice to everybody here, build a business. Don't get yourself a job, because when you get yourself a job and when you couldn't walk anymore, you out of the job, right? But if you build a business, it doesn't matter if you're walking or not, the business is still gonna pay you. So you're in real estate, you can treat it like a job or you can treat it like a business. Learn how to treat it like a business, right? Build a system that run and pay whenever you like it or not. So that's my message to everybody here. Have someone else pay for your mortgage, right? I couldn't walk for 2 days. What happened if I couldn't walk for 2 months, right? Someone else have to pay for your mortgage. So learn about rental, learn about investing, learn about house hacking. So in the event that you cannot walk or something happened to you, make sure that somebody else, you create value that somebody else gonna pay for your mortgage, right? Have an equity in the company that you work with, right? We work so hard. I think real estate agent is the hardest working people on earth. You work so hard, you might as well have some equity in the company you work for, right? And especially when, especially our model of revenue share is so popular right now. I don't care what company that you're with right now, have some revenue share, right? Learn how to attract people, help them, grow them. That way you have revenue share on top of your rental, right? So, and the last thing, make sure all the debt that you have is backed by real asset, right? If you're gonna borrow, you're gonna borrow money to expand, right? That debt is backed by a real asset, right? The debt is backed by business, by real estate that produce income. That way, when you couldn't walk anymore, you don't really care, right? Because everything is taken care of, right? So don't treat it like a job, treat it like a business. So anyway, thank you for attending. That's my mission. I help real estate professional create equity and cash flow. I hope you learned something today to customize your KVCore site and get more commission. And my goal, just like all my leader, we're gonna help create more cash flow agent, and we're gonna open this up for question and answer. Sydney, how do I do? Good, bad, awful?
It was really good, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I
Yep.
see some questions in the chat box, asking what is SEO.
Oh, SEO is search engine optimization, right? So basically, you have it's technical writing. You have to write it in a way. For example, Miley, if you go in here and you're gonna type EXP pyramid scheme, right? Boom, check it out. I'm the first one, right? Because my article, according to Google, it related to the keyword that I talked to, right? So if anybody here and you want to learn about EXP, if you want to find out if EXP is a pyramid scheme or not, and you're gonna type in Google pyramid scheme, and then you're gonna land on my article, right? Because I learned it, I write it in such a way, and again, you can ask AI to help you with it. I actually wrote the article by myself with no AI help. You learn it, you write it in such a way. Number one, it's very easy for you to read. And then number two, it makes Google understand that, hey, this is the best article. If you don't know anything about EXP, or if you want to find out EXP is a pyramid scheme or not, this is the article for you to go and learn, right? So if you learn how to write like that, every single time, I don't care where you at in the world, if you want to find out if EXP is a pyramid scheme or not, you're going to type it in Google, and then you're going to read my article, right? You're gonna see me, you're gonna see Glenn, you're gonna see me, and who else? Is Grant Cardone here? Nah, I didn't put Grant Cardone here, but yeah. But and then all of a sudden, right, you're gonna get exposed to my website, right? About my podcast, about me. You can shop cash flow property, you can ask me a question or better, right? Later on, when you get familiar with me, right, you can choose, how you can partner with me at EXP and with all my leader. Yeah, so that's SEO writing is about. Very, very powerful. Can you put the chat? Yes, if you sign up for this presentation, I'm gonna send you a presentation that have all the prompt that you want. Thank you, Christine. I hope you enjoy it. Can you send it to ChatGPT prompted plus? Yes, absolutely. If you're with EXP Realty, yep. Thank you, Sophia. Yep. Ton of note. Yep. Thank you, Jeff. Cool, cool, cool. Well, I think we finished just under 5 minutes. That is amazing. So Sydney, please have this thing recorded. So next time when somebody asks me about KVCore, we have something to send to them.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, for doing this.
Sounds good. All right. Thank you, guys. See you on the next training. Oh, and by the way, if you are in happy hour, right? Next Thursday, Sydney, please prepare a flyer. We're gonna have happy hour the next Thursday. So got back to the state, super excited to reconnect with everybody in Houston. Cool, cool,
Cool.
cool.
We'll see you there.
All right, bye y'all. Talk to you soon.